Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
All right, Simplified is where they take stories that you can't understand and make it even more difficult to understand. If you need that in your life, it's called marriage. Simplified, 3 young men with a mission. Their names, Chuck, Naren and Sriket. That's right, simplify their names first. Simplify. Check out new episodes on our IVM podcast apps. Happy listening, and fathers. All right, please note that the language and ideas presented on the show might not be suitable for everyone. If you're under 18, make sure your mom isn't around. If you're over 80, why is your mom around?
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Yes, on Cyrus Says, we meet Roy the Toy Zaltsman. He's a man who can read your minds but doesn't touch your body. Or so he says.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
Yes, folks, it's happened again. I was signaled out at a Nakabandi for random selection. It's a great honor for me by the police for no reason whatsoever because I parked my car next to the van. I can't understand this. Please, my request to all legal authorities, police and security officials across the world, I am not a terrorist, I'm not a threat to anyone, and the only thing I hate is people in long pants. Alright, so leave me alone. It's called Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus Says.
All right, it's time to introduce our guest on Cyrus Says, who actually is worth talking to. We've had lots of morons. I can't lie anymore. People just walking around the bazaar, we pick them up and say, will you be a guest? Give them a name, give them a career, boom, we have a show. But today we have a guy who's actually an entertainer. Now I have to understand what the exact term is. I believe mentalist is not... it is.
It is mentalist.
Mentalist is correct. In my day, if they said mentalist, it was like you were backward or something. What's wrong with him? He's mental.
It
mentalist,
is.
Yeah.
You have to be mental in order to be mentalist.
Oh, is that
you
so?
You cannot be normal.
Roy, is it okay if I call you by your name first? Because
Roy.
nobody... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Roy Zaltsman.
नाम तो सुना ही होगा.
Oh, Hindi mein baat karta hai. Better than me already. Roy Zaltsman, is that correct? Pronunciation?
Yes. Zaltsman.
Zaltsman. All right, okay. Let me quickly introduce Roy. Roy is a mentalist. He's from Israel, but speaks very good English and now apparently very good Hindi as well. So obviously they have a lot of time in Israel now to learn languages. And he does a lot of work in India. He's sold out to many theaters across the country. And he does a whole show, which is basically where he takes you apart and gets into your mind and plays games with you. I've been to a couple of his shows, and it can be quite a lot of fun, and sometimes you don't even remember you've been targeted. It's a bit like marriage in that sense. Also, you've got a special show coming up, which is, without giving it all away, is a sort of reality come murder mystery show? What is it? What would you call it?
The name of the show is Murder in the City. So as soon as people come to the show, there's been a murder. And then,
is it over parking? Because at Tata Theatre, there's always a problem with parking.
I guess that
could
be a
just
good reason.
Set it up. Give you a premise.
Could be a good reason.
Yeah.
And then, me, the mentalist, need to solve it using intuition, telepathy, and psychology in order to do that.
And also a few Indians as well who will be in the audience and will come and help you. Is that how it works?
1,200 of them.
1,200 of our Desi boys and girls are going to get up and help him. So it's a huge experience. You've got to check it out because it's not really been done before. It's a new genre in a sense where you are participant as well as viewer, right?
Exactly. It's a very interactive show. Nobody can,
And here's the good news. Vegetarians are allowed. Vegetarians are allowed because Roy, in spite of coming from the land of good, wholesome lamb, has decided to give it all up and become a veggie.
Yes, I am
what's that
veg now for 2.5 years. I actually sat here in Carter Road, ate chicken pashaveri with my friend. He was veg, I was non-veg, and I made this joke. I said to him, eat this chicken. It's a veg chicken. The name of this chicken is paneer. I made this joke.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was next to Ganesha or something, and maybe Ganesh heard what we said, and he just switched us. He became non-veg, I became veg, and a few months later, he pulled the same joke on me when I'm veg and he's non-veg.
This is an amazing story. It's true. I've checked it out. I've gone on his website. This story is true. What's the friend's name? Make it up quickly.
Akshay.
Akshay is his name. Akshay is his name. Great guy. But he's veg. He's Israeli. Very, very paradoxical kind of fellow. And he's a mentalist and he can read your mind. So can we start? I want to talk about your life, how you got into it. That's the whole concept of the show. But can we just start with a couple of instances where you read minds? Now, I'm the only person here. Although we do have our producer, Naveen. And it's an audio show, so it's a little difficult to do. But I won't lie.
Yes.
So test me.
Okay. Here is a quick one that anyone can do even at home. Mm-hmm. I'll show it to you. Very simple. Think of a number between 1 and 10. Don't tell me.
Done.
I'm thinking also of a number between 1 and 10. Now it's the cool part. Tell me, okay, what was your number?
What?
Tell me, what was the number?
But if I tell you, then
No,
okay,
there is a plot.
7.
You see, mine was 8. I won.
Ah,
Everybody can do that. It's
that's
very
good.
easy.
That's good. That's good. One more.
No, I can do something more serious.
Yeah.
I will ask you right now to think, and don't tell me immediately right now, and don't change it, on, let's say, any long stem flower such as lily or daisy, but something else. You have one? I'm sending one to you now.
Okay.
You got it? If you perceive it right, only if you perceive it why you thought of a rose.
Fudge. Can't say bad words.
I
That's
know,
right.
yeah. Is it?
That's right. That's scary. Is it because I don't know many flowers?
No, you could say
You took
sunflower,
away 2,
you
I
could say
was
so
down.
many other flowers. You can say.
I know, but how do you get that? That's cheating. This
No,
gotta be...
it's me influencing you.
Okay, can we try this with a neutral person? I want to get my producer in.
Anyone can
Huh?
do that. Yeah.
Come in, Naveen, come in. Because I want to make sure that okay, just for those listening, I swear my mother, I thought Rose and he was right. This is a little strange. I'm getting a little creeped out, but let's find out.
Okay.
This is Naveen, our producer. So he's never tried this again. So we'll give him a go. And Naveen he doesn't really believe in religion, Roy. So he's one of those, what do you call them, skeptics, cynical people. He's a comedian by profession, but he doesn't believe in any kind of supernatural powers and all that. So let's go. And okay, Roy versus Naveen, our producer. Let's see what happens.
I'll ask you right now to look at me. It may not work because maybe you are trying to get me. So don't try to get me. I'm trying actually to send to you something to your
Just
mind.
be real.
A subliminal picture. So actually look at me right now and think of any simple geometric shape. You have one in your mind?
Yeah.
Good. Put it inside of a different simple geometric shape. You have another one?
Yeah.
Okay, because I sent you, and be truthful, I sent you a triangle inside a circle.
Yes.
Jesus, really?
Yes,
Swear.
it's crazy.
God, that's
Oh my God.
That's scary.
How do you know?
Okay, I don't want to do this interview. Now I'm getting creeped out. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, look at his face.
It could be any. Oh shit.
That's scary. Okay, Naveen, you're off the
Legit.
hook.
I
Let's
believe in
get
God
back.
now.
You believe he's found Jesus?
Yes, it was like the dyslexic guy who did not believe, and then he actually believed. There is a dog.
Oh, God. Okay, got it. Who's the comedian now? Okay, Roy, you've given us a taste of your past, so those listening know it's true and authentic. Unfortunately, it's not on video, but it's very much on audio. Naveen is shaking, our producer. You can't see him, ladies and gentlemen.
I can see,
But, and he's really a very easygoing, laid-back guy who doesn't, show a lot of emotion, but he's a little creeped out now. I can see it in his face. What was it, a triangle in a circle? It's almost pornographic when you think about it. But let's get back to Roy's life. Roy, this whole show, I call it Cyrus Says because I've got a huge ego. Everything else is small. We want to trace your life.
Yes.
The first time you've had a mentalist. The first time you've had a guy who can do hypnotism, who can read minds, and who can, bend spoons, etc., etc. So how did it all start? Tell us where you're from and, in the sense, your childhood. Give us something.
Yeah, that's good. So I'm an only child to a single mother.
Oops.
No,
Okay.
it's not oops. That's my life.
All right.
And I grew up in the southmost city in Israel called Eilat. It's a very touristic city. Many hotels, many people from all over the world. So I was exposed to the entertainment business very early. I was going to hotels and I was watching shows, and I always loved it. And since a very early age, I liked this magic and mind reading and people lying on nails and all of that. I really
Lying
loved
on
it.
nails is an Indian thing.
I know,
And we
but-
do it because there's no space.
I've seen it when I was 13 or 14 years old in Israel, and I was shocked. I said I have to do it sometime.
Was he an Indian guy?
No, Israeli guy.
Just a
He's
carpenter
my
with
friend.
no-
He's my friend
Yeah.
today. He's my friend today.
Saves a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you? 13?
I was about 13, 14. And then at the age of 15, I did a successful birthday party with a friend in my neighborhood to his sister's birthday. And it was so successful. We did some magic, some mind reading, whatever things. And with this energy, we went to...
But how did you learn it? Just by watching people?
I've been watching TV. I've been thinking how things are done. I knew things. I can intuitively guess things.
But there was no internet to guide you. So you would just
Exactly.
look at it and figure out the logic in it.
I was lending books, reading books about magic, about other things. When I was also 13, I read the book by... what is his name? Chariots of God is trying to prove that the pyramids is built by aliens. Stuff like that. I've been reading this stuff.
At 13, I read Hugh Hefner's Playboy for the first time. Changed my
Yeah,
life. Also
yeah.
about pyramids, in a way.
Yes.
Yeah. But we'll get back to you. We'll
Oh,
get back
I have
to
a
you.
joke
Sorry.
about that. Anyway,
go
so-
ahead. Do your joke.
Oh, the joke is good. I love it. So this guy goes to the psychologist, okay? And he says, everything in life, everything that someone tossed to me reminds me of boobs. And he said, really? Okay, let's try. Oranges. And he says, boobs. That's right. Okay, he said, okay, mountains. And he said, boobs. And I said, okay, easy. So I'll give you something hard. Sprinklers. And he said, boobs. And he said, how come sprinklers boobs? And he does...
Oops. All right. Luckily, it's audio. So
This is for you. This is a joke made for you.
You made my engineer laugh. He never laughs. But the moment you said boobs, he woke up. Otherwise, he sleeps through everything we do. It's amazing. The power you have, sir. It's more than we think.
So
back to your childhood.
we went to
birthday party.
After the birthday party, we went to this hotel in a lot called Marina Club to the CEO of the hotel, the manager of the hotel. We did a few things. We want to perform here with this energy of two kids. Very enthusiastic. He said, okay, 3 shows. He just signed us for 3 shows. And we've done the 3 shows there, and then I started to perform.
What kind of audience was it? Adults?
It was all family which come to hotels.
Okay.
And it was...
and what were the basic tricks you were doing? Do you have any
It was
memory?
more of magic back then.
Those things where you pull out things out of hats and that kind of thing.
Stuff like that, but it was a beginning. And when you understand the world of magic and the creative thinking behind every trick, then you understand things much deeper. And you understand what you know, what the audience know, and how to influence that. When you become a mentalist, you don't need anything. All you need is yourself, because your persona is strong enough to influence and read other people and amaze them with nothing.
Okay, let's understand again. So nobody's teaching you. Everything is self-taught.
Well, people showed me things here and there. I
But
met
there's
all
no
kind of
guru.
people,
There's
but
no
it was
guru.
not like one mentor, no.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of books, and I watched a lot of TV, and I was watching like Paul Daniels back then. It was big on
the
TV,
English guy, the Brit guy.
and
yeah.
David Copperfield and stuff like that. So
David
that was
Copperfield, how old is he?
now he's 60
200?
something.
60,
yeah.
60. Okay.
Looks like 59 and a half mostly.
Yeah, surgery, magic, illusion, lighting.
Now he's doing very well.
Yeah.
Yes. So I started to perform in hotels, and then I served at the Israeli Air Force. It's compulsory, so I was in the Air Force from 18 to 21.
So you can fly an Indian plane anytime. You can
Of course.
If the pilot's tired, I'll take it.
Yeah. So I was working with electronic countermeasures because I learned electronics in high school. That was the top notch I could learn, so I just learned that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I worked on F-16 and Apache helicopters
Wow.
in my service. That was very, very important duty, a lot of responsibility. And I could stay for extended years, which are very well paid with a lot of benefits. But what happened, we were too many people for the job and too few spots. So
Right.
my commander said, you have to prove yourself if you want me to sign you for the extended years. And I said, no, I'm quit. It's fine. I'm finished. Thank you. I've done my service. It's fine. And a week later, I registered my business as a performing artist.
So 1 week before you had an F-16, you gave it up and you said, I'll play with balloons in front of an audience.
Yeah, kind
What a
of.
story,
So
what a life.
I did 3 years in the army, and then I started to perform in a lot. And then I
Did you
started
perform with the troops as well? Do you keep doing your stuff?
I did also my reserve service then. After I started to perform more, I actually did a deal with my commander that my reserve service would be doing shows
Performing
here and there,
for the
and,
troops.
yeah, because what should I do? Like stupid things, later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I performed in Eilat until the age of 26, and then all the entertainment in Eilat has changed, completely changed. Beforehand, the hotels would invite me directly to perform, but then they came the mill guys, the producers, who the hotels buys everything from, and then the producers hire me. So the middleman wants to make more money and wants me to make less money, and it became horrible. Everybody in Eilat were so unhappy, and I said, it's an opportunity for me. It means I've done it, that's it, age of 26, I should leave. So I went from Eilat to a different city, Ra'anana. Why Ra'anana?
First, can I say the word?
Ra'anana.
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 Yeah, Ra'anana, which means fresh.
It means fresh, but it's going to take me half an hour to get it.
It means
Ra'anana.
fresh female, if you want to.
Oh, I'm going to practice. Ra'anana. I like
Ra'anana.
it. I like
Kind of
Israeli girls.
Something fresh, yes. So anyway...
He ignored me, Roy. I'm not going to help you.
I know.
I got an
I know.
F-16, that's all.
So I used to have an aunt in Ra'anana, and she died out of cancer. And I always knew that whenever I live a lot, it will be to Ra'anana. So when I decided to live to Ra'anana, I called an apartment on a newspaper ad, and I talked to the guy, explained to me about the apartment. I visualized it. I knew I want to go to this apartment. And then I came to see his apartment, which is exactly on the same street she was living, building in front of a building, the same floor, window to her apartment.
Wow.
I said, more sign than this I
Karma.
cannot get. Yeah. And I booked it, and I hired this apartment. And later I moved to Hod HaSharon, and then I moved to Hadera, where I live right now. So when I moved to the center of Israel, I started to perform more for the corporate events, no more hotels, no more family shows. It was like strictly corporate. Then everything became more of
adult
telepathy.
males predominantly watching you.
Males and females. Yeah.
Yeah, but not kids. I'm saying so
Not kids,
different
not kids.
tricks altogether.
Because in Israel, when I've done a lot, I had to answer to all the family.
Yeah.
But when I perform for corporate shows and conventions and trade exhibitions, then it's all about business, it's all about adults. And then I threw everything else and I just concentrated on the telepathy part, which includes intuition, psychology, body language.
I know you want to give away secrets, but how does one learn, for people listening, how does one learn telepathy? I mean is there a school? Or
And there is no school, but there is material. I mean, there are books, there are conventions in the world. You meet the guys like you, and the fun part is when I go to a convention and I can fool 1,000 people like me in the audience, and they have no clue what I've done to them. They have no clue where.
Can you fool me?
I just did, no? I did. I mean, I showed you things
Yeah,
which you have
exactly.
no explanation. I mean, for mentalists, they can understand, what I've done, how I use my body, how I influenced you. They understand the principles I'm using many times, and I can understand theirs. So it's really hard for a mentalist to fool another one, because we understand the way of thinking. And we have a lot of terms which you will not understand if I'll say dual reality. Or
What is
you will
that?
never, exactly, we'll never understand it.
Give it a try.
It's just a term. It's just a term between mentalists. But if I'll say that to another mentalist, he will understand. If I'm going to say, other words like that, people will understand. But it's our own genre. It's our, musicians will understand their notes. Anywhere in the world. So it brings me to a really fun part. Anywhere in the world, I look online, I find a mentalist, I send him a WhatsApp or an SMS or call him and I say, hi, I'm a mentalist from Israel. I came here. Let's meet. In 5 minutes, he will meet me. It's like an unwritten law that mentalists will...
It's a tribe.
It's like a tribe, but it's unwritten law. No, nobody prepared us for that, So if one will come to Israel and let's say, hey, I'm here, I'll pick him up, I'll show him around.
So
And
is it
people
true
will
you
say,
can only mate amongst mentalists? You can
No.
You can go outside. I'm just want to know what the problem
you
is.
should mate anywhere else as much as you can.
But don't mate a mentalist.
Exactly.
Because if she can read your mind, you're screwed.
Exactly.
In a way.
Yeah.
Or not. All right, back to you, sir.
Yes.
So the Mentalist Club is a tight one. Is there someone who's the best in the world or something? Is there anything like that? Like you'd say Federer is the best tennis player.
I guess they are the best in the world. One of the best, or considered to be the best, is Darren Brown from UK, from England.
I thought you were going to see Downtown Abbey. I got worried for a minute. Yeah.
Darren Brown.
Darren.
And he took the mentalism to the place where he kind of explains or shows people how he do it using his influence and reading body language. So basically, you get the surprise of what he's done and then the surprise of explaining kind of like what it did. And so many mentalists follow this path, So it's
But does
funny
the
to see
audience
that.
understand then, or they just get a
that
taste of...
No, it's when I give you kind of an explanation that makes you think, because he said these words or he used this body link this way, he influenced this guy to choose whatever he is. So it's just a way to present it. Yeah, you can present it and say I have powers. You can present it and say I just use it in psychology. You can present it and say I'm just lucky, or I can guess. It's all presentation how you put it.
But do you have to be funny when you're doing all this, or you have to be more serious?
No,
What works?
mentalism beforehand was very serious, too boring. To make mentalism funny and very vivid on stage, you have to have this right persona and that's why I think I was lucky to do even magic before and illusions before and everything. So everything built me up to the day I'm doing mentalism in a very funny way, very speedy, very light. People can enjoy that.
All right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back. And now we're going to talk about the different styles that you have and things like that. Maybe with a few examples. We have a guinea pig, so we're ready.
Yes.
Naveen is ready to do anything.
Yes.
He'll take his clothes off, lie in the middle of both of us. You can cut him in two, whatever you want. Take out his organs and we can put them back with the liver up and the kidney down or whatever. That's the right way, actually. We'll take a break, then we'll come back.
Are you confused about your future education options?
Not sure about whether you should be doing an MBA?
Or if design school is the right fit for you?
Are you worried about how you would finance your education?
Find answers to this and a lot more education-related topics on this podcast.
Hi, my name is Akhil Daswani. I'm the CEO and co-founder of OnCourse.
Hi, my name is Alisha Mashruwala. I'm the CEO and co-founder of OnCourse.
And we both are your co-hosts for the OnCourse podcast. Tune in every Monday on the IBM podcast app or any other podcast app you may like.
All right, back here with the one only Roy Zaltsman. I hope I said that correctly.
Yes.
What's the pet name? Is there a pet name for Roy? It's a short name anyway.
It is actually a shorter version of my full name,
Which is
not Royston. And
Yeah, it is.
The name, the way it's pronounced in Hebrew, is Ro'i. Roy.
I thought
Roy.
Satyajit Roy. I was
No,
so...
it's when I performed for
Roy.
Subrata Roy, it's not like a Bengali last name.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's my
yeah.
so
Roy.
Roy means my shepherd,
Yeah.
which means my God.
But Cyrus also means shepherd of
There you go.
of the people.
Really?
So we're connected.
You were connected
And
more
Cyrus
than-
the Great is the one who gave Babylon back to the Jews.
Wow, you
Study
see
your
this?
history, read the Old Testament, brother. I'm not lying.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's good.
benevolent king. But
Very
let's
good.
get back to this king, which is the mentalist, and his name is Roy, and he's going to do something. And we set it up with our producer, guinea pig Naveen,
Yeah.
who's not
I
been...
ask you to think of someone which you know.
Yeah.
And it's only in your mind. You didn't say that to anyone, have you?
No.
You didn't tell it to me.
No, he's written it down on a paper. You haven't seen it. I've been a witness to it, so let's see what happens.
So you didn't show it to anyone, didn't tell it to anyone, you didn't show it to me. Yes, okay. So that's what we need to know. And I'll ask you to think whether it's a man or a woman. Now the problem is I'm not that good with Indian names. Now better, but not that good with all the names. So I'll try to think if it's a man or a woman.
Yeah, done.
It's a woman?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. It was just a guess. I have no clue.
Yes.
Think about the first letter of her name. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. You see what happened? Something happened with his face. Don't tell me anything, but I noticed something very small. But don't give it to me. Don't do anything.
But I
Just
didn't
look at
know
me.
this.
I
I'm
noticed
watching him.
something. I know. Look, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, J. Is that?
You're kidding me.
Really? No way.
I'm looking at the same face, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at the same face. Nothing happened.
Now, without naming the ABC anymore, I'll ask you to think of one of the letters, let's say, in the middle of her name. Yes?
Done.
Why did you change your mind to Y?
No.
She has Y in the name?
She has,
Okay, that's what I got.
but not in the middle. Okay.
You thought of an E before?
No, there's a name.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes. Think of the last last letter.
Done.
It's also a vowel, yeah? It's A.
Yeah.
So her name should be something like Gia.
Yeah. It is my best friend Gia.
Are you kidding?
Any
That's
questions?
damn scary, brother.
I'm going out.
Oh, really? Let's end the interview here. What the hell? What are you with, the Mossad or something? I mean, what are you, some special service?
I
Scary.
can tell you, but then I'll have to kill you.
Yeah, but just without explaining it, I know it's your art. But I watched his face. Okay, for people listening to the show, I watched his face at the same time. I didn't see a flicker. I was watching as intently as I could. So, but is that it? Are you face reading?
It's not about watching any movements. It's kind of like what I feel. Today when I do it, it's like when you drive today. Let's say when you learned how to drive, you have to think any action you do. But once you know how to drive, you don't even think that. You can drive and think about so many things at the same time. So now when I read people, I look at people, I don't know, I cannot even say to myself why I felt this is it. But I know, I just feel, oh, this is right.
But how did you know he changed his mind? Because he sort of said one letter and he switched Y to E or whatever. You got that. How did you get that?
I don't know, I just felt.
That's amazing. That's scary. God, so if they ever interrogate you, it'll be a real hard thing because he'll be sort of interrogating them
Yeah.
in reverse.
Yes.
Oops.
There's a TV show as well. Mentalist is a TV show, and like.
Okay, thank you.
What do you think about that? I'm just curious.
Have you
because-
seen Mentalist?
Yeah, of course, yeah. With Simon Baker.
But he's not really a mentalist.
No, he's an actor. Simon Baker.
Okay, Naveen, off you go. Let me talk to Roy for a few more minutes. Roy, so let's get back to your career. So then you're now in another city, Rohana.
No, now I'm in Hadera.
Yeah, you're in Hadera.
You
This
say
is your third-
Hadera if you want to pronounce it right.
Hadera,
Hadera.
which is your third place, and this is your permanent place.
Now, yes.
And now you've become a very commercial sort of professional, where you're doing things for big corporates and all that. So it's,
Yeah, I've
how
been
do you?
professional since age 21 when I registered my business.
What I mean is now you hit the big time.
But yes.
How do you come to India? Travel agent mixes up.
Intuitive thing. 4 years ago, even beforehand, I decided I want to perform more and more abroad. I found it very, very exciting for myself. And then I decided I want to perform every month somewhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes, when the student is ready, the teacher is coming. I just said it to someone. I met on a workshop somewhere. I just mentioned I want to perform every month abroad. And then he asked me if I'm using virtual assistants. I said no, and he referred me to some websites when I can find virtual assistants.
Mm-hmm.
So I found people who did the online research for me, called the people, got approval to send emails, and basically to all event planners. And then I came to India. I had meetings in Delhi, Bombay, and Bangalore with event planners, which none of whom I met, any business happened with them until today. But when I was here for these meetings, a friend of mine got a request to perform for Ultratech Cement. And he said, oh, Roy is in India, take him. So I did this show. And from this show,
the cricket team, Rajasthan Royals.
Yes, I did Rajasthan Royals, and then I spoke to the anchor, and she referred me to some companies she's working with, and I started to develop the connections one by one.
And the machine started. So can you predict your own future?
I'm not trying to. I know what I aspire to. I know where I want to go, and I just do it step by step.
So is there ever an audience who misbehaves with you? Anybody who probably lies? What if I want to lie, for example? Like, Naveen was fair enough, sincere enough and all. But what if I'm just one of those jerks? And you must be meeting somebody who wants to just impress his girlfriend and says, no, you say this number and you're right, but he denies it. Then what happens?
Well, many times, not here, I would say I'll write something before and then I'll ask you what it is and then it's there. Or I ask you to write, Once, someone writes something and he shows it to someone, then it
that's
cannot
why
lie.
You do it. Yeah, okay.
Sometimes, yeah. Either this or embedded deeper in the mind's eye. Let me give you an example. Yesterday I learned some new Hindi lines. So immediately I said it to myself out loud. Why? Because my ears hear what I say and then I remember it much better. So when you write something for yourself, your eyes can see that and then you remember it much better. And it gets deeper in your psyche. So that's part of the reason I would use.
But you never fight with them. You sort of just play along.
It's fine. I mean, I you know what is the best show I have is when I have mistakes. If my show is 100% good, it's a boring show. There is no drama. There is no chance I'll fail.
Why I'm asking you is because on Sunday when I come, I'm going to lie.
Good.
But, so I want to ask you, let's move on to another thing. What is this whole bending of forks and all that? Okay. I can't quite understand
this
how that happens.
This came, first in the world in the 70s by Uri Geller, also Israeli psychic and mentalist, which is my friend. Now he lives in Yafo.
So Israel has a huge sort of community of people who do this, huh?
Not huge, but I mean...
But small country and so many mentalists.
We have quite few mentalists for such a small country.
We have also mental issues, but it's different.
Exactly, yeah. And like I said, you have to be... You cannot be normal and a mentalist. So I'm proud of that I'm not a normal and average person, that I see the world differently, and that's what I think takes me to do the things I want. I was never a hired person. I was never an employee.
You flew an F-16.
No, I did not fly F-16. I was working on F-16 as electronics.
You made sure it flew.
I make sure that the pilot will return safe.
But you're not a purser. You weren't working. You're an engineer.
Yeah, that was in the army, 3 years in the army, because it's compulsory. Beside that, I was never an employee a day of my life.
Right.
I have my own business, and it's mostly a one-man business. Sometimes I have 1 or 2 employees to do all kind of projects. And it makes me happy.
Okay, let's get back to the steel and your friend Yuri?
Uri Geller.
Uri
Geller.
URI. Yuri.
URI.
Now, for the next 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, I will learn Israeli names.
Yes.
Uri
Geller.
Uri. I know Ben-Ari, he's a friend of mine. Is that correct pronunciation?
Who is he?
Ben-Ari.
Ben-Ari is the last name usually of someone, yeah. And Uri Geller is very famous in the world with bending spoons, and he was very controversial.
He's not allowed in restaurants.
Yes. And he was very controversial, and because he claimed he has supernatural powers, and some said yes, some said no. Some tried to hustle him live in Johnny Carson shows and stuff like that. He got it really bad there. But I mean, regardless, he told me a few things. He is a master in public relations. He told me, always have a debate. Always have someone to say good things about you and someone to have bad things about you. It's fine. Don't measure whatever they write to you on in the newspaper. Only take a ruler and make sure how many words they had to put for you and they spell your name right. That's the most important thing. And I took from him. I know he's very good with PR. He's very good.
But what about the spoons?
It's just an effect. Basically you have in telepathy 10 major effects you can do. One is mind reading. Regardless of what I read out of your mind, it's mind reading. Second thing is influence. If I influence you to choose something, or if I influence you not be able to speak, I influenced you. Third effect is a prediction. If I wrote a prediction and then something happened and then we opened the prediction, it's great, that's a prediction. So these are already 3 effects out of 10. So spoon bending, I would put it inside of the category of telekinesis, when you control objects with the power of the mind. So then you can make a glass shutter.
Can you open a handcuff?
That's more of a pickpocket art, mostly.
You can't do it with your mind.
That's a good idea. I don't know if a mentalist ever done it. It's a good idea. We should try
in
that.
case you get handcuffed.
That's good. You say, yeah. It depends where.
Yeah, not in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, like, seriously.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Never been handcuffed.
But you think it's possible?
Might be. I don't know. Never tried it. You just toss
So
an
this
idea.
telekinesis, this whole idea is basically with your mind, the spoon bends. I still can't get my head around that.
Telekinesis is controlling objects with the power of the mind. So either I can make a glass shutter or a pen move.
Can I make my finger move?
Yeah, here. Yeah, actually I do that. I make people when I do, but this is put in the hypnosis act when I make people not be able to stand up or open the mouth or not able to talk or forget something.
So you're a bit like Viagra. You just
Yeah.
create an effect and suddenly, boom, everything's fine again.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yes.
All right, let's quickly get to now the India show and the things that you're doing here. So this new concept that you've got, which involves the audience, you also hypnotize them during the course of the thing. So do we remember what happens?
Yes.
When we wake up, do we remember
Yes.
what
People remember because they are aware of what happens to them the entire time. It's not as if I put them into deep hypnotic sleep and they don't remember anything. It's like they aware and they just don't understand why they behave the way they behave. That's basically what happens.
So even if you're involved in it, you're still able to, your inner self will be able to know what's happened once you get out of the conscious or the unconscious.
And they enjoy that. It should be fun for them. I mean, it shouldn't be scary. If people are scared of what I'm going to do, then they will not allow it. If someone is lying to me, like you said before, then I will not be able to read his mind. If someone is trying to block his mind, I will not be able to do that. What I need is someone's consent, someone, open mind, in order to do so.
And relax, sort of.
Yes.
But what if you meet like a Donald Trump, a famous statesman or politician? Would you be able to get into his mind, or
I guess he will be the one who's lying.
Okay. Have you ever met politicians? Have you ever performed for?
Yeah, I did things for Bibi Netanyahu.
Wow.
I did a show.
So tell us what you did with the Israeli Prime Minister. That would be...
With Bibi Netanyahu, I've done this. I did a family show in someone's house. I did like a private show, and he was a good friend of the
host
of the family of the host. And back then, he was the Minister of Treasury. So at the end of the show, I came to him and I floated my business card to his hand, and I said, "Take it to the office, and if anybody wants to show in the office."
Floated as in it went in the air.
Yeah, but it went to his hand, and basically what I boldly say is like, offer it to the Minister of Treasury. If anybody wants a show, I'll do that. The next day, someone's called me. The minister just goes, give us your business card. We would like you to this and that show. And I've done many shows for politics, for the Prime Minister's office, which is AKA the Mossad.
Is it true?
Yeah, many times.
So you're friends with the Prime Minister, with Netanyahu?
Not friends.
He knows you. First name.
He met me.
Hey, my friend Roy.
I did a show for former President Shimon Peres, to his family, to his son. I've done a show, and I've done recent show a few weeks back to I don't know how to say it in English. The guy who's criticizing the
opposition.
Not opposition. His job is to criticize the government. In his job.
Okay.
To
shadow cabinet.
I don't know how to say it.
They follow the
I can
cabinet.
look it up online.
All right.
And basically. So his job is to be the critic of
the government.
And tell what's wrong with the government. That's his job.
That's all Indian jobs. Let me just tell you. That's what we do.
So he stood up at the end of the show and he said, "Okay, checking your show. It was great, flawless. I loved it."
Really?
Just said it, in front of everyone.
The ultimate critic.
Yes.
All right. As we wrap up here, just tell us your experiences in India. Just a little bit for you as a guy, because you seem to embrace India a lot. You've become a vegetarian to begin with.
That's one thing, and I have, I think, more friends now in India than I have in Israel. I am very happy when I'm in India. I came here for the first time in 1995 after my Air Force service.
But as a tourist?
As a tourist, backpack traveler.
You did Goa?
Actually, no.
What are you saying? You didn't... Stop! This is the greatest moment in the show. An Israeli tourist came and didn't go to Goa. Wow.
I came here for 2 months, and after 1 month, I could not stand it anymore. I had so many experiences, so many things going on. I could not, have any more within me. So I came to Mumbai, and then I went to Pune and Eloa, and then I said, I'll come to Mumbai. If there is a flight tonight, I'll take it, or else I'll go to Goa. There was a flight. I boarded the flight. I came back.
Back home?
Back home by surprise. When I was here in 95, within this month, the Prime Minister was murdered in Israel.
Yitzhak Rabin.
Yitzhak Rabin was murdered, yes, in Israel. And I was in Pushkar at the same time, having breakfast in one guest house, and someone just came and told me that. So within this month, I had so many things going on. But since 95, I always said there will be time I will return to India. And 4 years ago, I think I felt that's the time. I want to do it, but in different way. Then I was a backpack traveler. Now I come here on a 5-star basis, and my friends are the billionaires of Mumbai and India, and it's fun. It gives me a different experience.
And you say off the record that you actually like being here more.
Yes, and when I come back to Israel,
you have seen our traffic, and you have met all the other issues like infrastructure.
Here is the thing: I even drive in Mumbai. Myself.
You really are a mentalist. Yeah, at least mental for sure.
And mental, yes.
By choice.
Yes, it's good.
Every time I drive, I want to cut my own hands off.
Yeah, but in Israel, you drive the other side of the road. Here you drive the left side of the road, and the Mumbai traffic.
But you can fool the cops, which we can't do.
Yeah. They will not stop me from the first place, but if they will, this will be a fun thing to do. We'll have to try that once.
Look at my finger, Mr. Policeman.
I have an idea. We must do it now. I have an idea.
Fair enough. Last question, we have to wrap up. We're running out of time. Israel and India? Looking forward in the last few years, especially with our Prime Minister going there, much stronger bond?
There is a very strong bond for the last 25 years, and it will be stronger. And everybody was so excited when Narendra Modi came to Israel, and it was all over the news, and it was a big thing. And now it's more in the news in Israel that India is growing, and it's great opportunity for collaboration, for doing business. And you can feel where it's going. So definitely, I'm sure Israel and India will become way stronger bond in the near future.
Yeah, I think it's important that we realize that Israelis are more than tourists who come to Goa, and Israelis realize that, or Indians realize that Israelis are more than people who scrap with Palestinians. There's a lot more culturally similar that goes on in these two countries in terms of commerce, engineering, infrastructure, entrepreneurs, and mentalists. Are there any Indians?
Yeah, they are, and they're my friends. I even brought one to Israel.
Yeah.
He stayed in my place.
And he never went back.
And he went back safely. And then what happened? He posted on Facebook he wants to go to watch Darren Brown in England. The Mentalist, I told you, one of the best. And he said, I have to take it. So I wrote down to him, okay, I'm joining you. And so what happened? We went and we met in London. We went, saw the new show of Darren Brown, and then I made sure we will go backstage and meet him. And once we sat with him for 15 minutes and spoke to him, and my friend took a photo with him, he said, that's it. Now I've done my trip to London.
So Darren Brown knows who you guys are now?
Darren Brown knows me from before. I met him several times before. So that's the reason we could come inside. But for my Indian friend, it was like, oh my God.
What's the Indian guy's name?
Akshay.
The same guy.
Akshay.
You'll swip personalities in the middle. Yes. All right. Roy, great talking to you. Shows in Tata on 6th, but lots of other shows as well coming up?
Yes, there are more shows. There will be shows in Delhi on the 18th.
Okay, let me just say that slowly. Delhi on the 18th, where?
Sri Ram Center.
Delhi on the 18th at the Sri Ram Center. It's a big hall. Please come, 18th of August. Anything else?
And the 30th, I have a corporate show for Tetra Pak.
30th is a corporate show, but that we can't get into.
No, you can't.
But unless you become an employee of Tata's, but that may not happen in such a short time.
Tetra Pak. Is Tata? No.
Is it? Oh,
Tetra Pak. Is Tetra Pak. I don't
Tetra Pak.
Yeah, they do all the food packaging.
Oh, packaging.
So if you disguise yourself as a food package, you can come.
Or just come eating with a packet in your hand.
Yes.
September, also, you spend a lot of time here now, so we'll see you on and off throughout, right?
Definitely. Now it's the high season begins. So
catch the show. The show is called Murder in the City. That's a big show. It's a novel concept. It's worth watching. It's people want different. That's different.
Definitely. The first of its kind.
Now read my mind as we say bye.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Superb.
Hi, I'm Ambika.
And I'm Hoshna.
Come journey with us around India as we chat about new and offbeat destinations, from secret islands to village stays, give you travel tips and advice, discuss all the yummy and weird food we've sampled, and induce some serious wanderlust.
So tune in to the Rediscovery Podcast.
New episodes out every Monday on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app you like.
If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
All right, at AMA time, Amit joins Roy. Amit is another cynic. He doesn't believe in mentalism. Yeah,
good.
He doesn't believe in physicalism either, as you can see. But let's see what we got.
All right. So, Cyrus, why do you keep... Okay, this is from Tejas. Why do you keep picking on Bangladesh? Yes, it's poor, but they've made rapid strides in the past decade, especially when it comes to adoption
I'll tell you,
of
it's
toilets.
personal. They're the only country who have rejected my visa. Sorry to interrupt the question. So it's personal.
That makes sense.
Everywhere in the world that I've traveled, no rejection, but Bangladesh rejected my visa. I was working for a company that made ads and music simultaneously called MTV at that point, and I think that was the reason. They just didn't want an American multinational company person to come in. There was some sort of issue.
Okay.
Or they just didn't like me. So I was very upset with Bangladesh, and I'm trying to get over it because I love Bangladesh cricket and I follow it.
Okay.
And Shakib Al Hasan is one of my favorite cricketers, and from that point of view, I do love Bangladesh. But I'm hurt. Bangladesh, if you can hear me, send me my visa and a 5-star hotel, please, because I'm a spoiled Indian. End of the day, yaar. Wait, Roy, have you been to Bangladesh?
Here is the thing. You have just rejected. For me, they will not let me in because Bangladesh does not have any diplomatic relationship with Israel. So they will not let me in. Israeli passport, as far as I know, is not welcome in Bangladesh. Yeah.
But you can come with me because I've got special rights now.
Yeah.
Rejected once.
If they let you
they let me and they let you in.
All right, okay. This is another question from Beans and Cheese on Twitter. Why is vegetable the only veg dish at New Martin's Colaba?
Oh, that's a beautiful. So we've got this very, it's a Mangalorean-run hardcore non-veg. Now, you're a vegetarian, so this is a good question for you, Roy.
Yes.
And it's one of the rare places in India where they have only love for non-veg food. And there's just one thing at the end on the menu thing, which is on a board, which says vegetable of the day. So they have no interest. And when you ask the guy, he's like, I don't know. In Hindi, he'll tell you, I don't know what that means also. Yeah, so when you take vegetarians there, they really starve because you have to give them bread and gravy, and that's it.
Yeah, and it'll be like some sad little...
so what do you think now? Now that you're a vegetarian,
I had before Mangalorean fish, I believe, or something.
Mm-hmm. In your old days,
yeah. Still today, I do eat fish and eggs.
What kind of vegetarian is that?
It's a fake vegetarian. It's
no. You can't make this.
This is pure veg. I'll tell you.
So you're bending the rules.
I'll tell you.
Like you bend the spoons.
I'll tell you. In Israel, when you eat veg, you still eat eggs. It's still veg, and all over the world. Some people may eat fish still in the vegetarian arena. In Israel, we have more of vegan when they have nothing from animals, not even dairy or milk or
exactly.
Right. Yeah. So it's all variations.
So do you get food in Israel? Because I presume it's a hardcore non-veg country.
I mean, if now vegan thing became very big.
So
in
wherever
Israel,
you go, you'll get food.
So I can get food.
You won't get vegetable of the day in Tel Aviv restaurant,
No, especially in Tel Aviv, they have like vegan restaurants, vegan menus, vegan everything. So veg definitely I'll have. So yeah.
Okay. New Martins, if you're listening, and I know you're not, you're not going to change. They just don't care. It's a slice of old Mumbai, where these old restaurants don't care much about the customer. They just, this is the food, you want it, take it away.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have like these weird times when they're open and shut and all that kind of stuff.
You got to share, there are 4 tables, you got to share it.
You got to share tables. Yeah, they don't care.
But in a way, it's a romantic slice of Bombay which will go,
Exactly. It's its own place, right? I mean, like, it's our equivalent of the soup Nazi.
Okay, all right.
No soup for you.
No soup for you.
All right, so Briefless Attorney, our old guy.
Probably our greatest.
Yes, but again, he sent a question deliberately to set you off. I'm just reading this question. I was like, this is
I got my attorney present.
It's just meant to poke Cyrus a little bit. Should auto rickshaws be allowed to ply in town?
I don't know, Roy, you've been here long enough, but we Mumbaikars have a war in North Mumbai with the rickshaws and in South Mumbai with the bikes and scooters.
Yes.
Okay, it's like it's India, Pakistan. You can't there's no result there. And we just hate them and they hate us. So his point is that auto rickshaws who only do Bandra and where you're staying right now in this area and the arena hall, should they come to town where Tata Theatre is? Which means there'll be more traffic jams.
No, I think it's not. Because South Mumbai is so nice and authentic and
we don't have space for more cars.
Exactly. Well, it's good. I like it the way it is. I don't know.
So no, you're saying no.
I think so.
Auto rickshaw, off you go. Yeah. Let me ask him one last question, which is, can you help us with infrastructure? Because you've got this so-called different perspective, I hope. I'm not being cynical. Yeah. And that is that our city can't grow anymore. But the cars are coming, the more cars are coming, people are making more money and more immigrants are coming. What do we do?
I don't know. It's the same.
It's a bit like Israel.
It's the same in New York.
Come on, you mentalists, solve our problem.
You move to a different city.
Where do we go?
Somewhere else. Go to Pune, Ambivali.
If I go to Tel Aviv, I'll be washing tables in a vegan restaurant. Is that what you want? All right, it's been great, Roy. Thank you. All the best to you. Amit, say bye.
Bye.
All right. Can you read Amit's mind as we go out?
I can read. It says, first of all, clear your mind. Oh, that was fast.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. If you have any questions, write to us online and you can mail us as well. We will answer. We have a doctor in the house called me.
And that's what Cyrus says.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out
IVM Podcasts
to catch some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.